This is my thing about Penn State. And this is why they had such a good opportunity to make a move here and beat one of the best teams in the country. This is a veteran roster. Like, yeah, they lost some players from last year, but they're also returning a lot of players from last year as well. Drew Auer is in his third year as a starter. You have veteran running backs. You have veterans on your defense. Oregon is a team that hasn't blossomed into what they're going to be. And you had them at home, and you still found a way to lose the game. Penn State again folds in a big game. Look, Penn State needs to change their identity. The way they build their football teams, they're not going to win a national championship like that. I get it that Penn State has this identity where they want to run the football and play really good defense. Here's my message to Penn State and their administration. Identify as something else, because whatever this identity is, it clearly doesn't work. That's why you haven't won a national championship since the year of 1986. It's damn near 40 years since you won your last national championship. Whatever you're doing isn't working, and you need to make a change. Is it James Franklin? A lot of Penn State fans are going to say that they need to move on from James Franklin, and I understand, but I also understand the fans that are like, hey, look, he has done some really good things, but whatever Penn State needs to do, they need to move to a different identity. They need to invest more at wide receivers. If you want to run the football more effectively, you either have to have two things: really good running backs and a really good offensive line, or you need to have good running backs, a fine offensive line, and receivers on the outside that lighten up the boxes so that you can run the football more effectively. Because what Penn State does as a team, as an offense, it's just not going to work in college football now. It's not going to work in the Big Ten, where you have teams like Oregon, like Ohio State. But then when you go out and look at the whole country in its entirety, you have teams like, yeah, maybe not this year, but Texas, LSU, teams that they're able to win games because they have studs on the outside. And because of that, their entire offense flows because of that. Penn State needs to invest more at wide receiver. I get it. They have a nice group of receivers. Name me this. Answer me this question, right? When it comes to Penn State, who are the receivers in the NFL from Penn State that you look at and you say, that's a guy? There are like 4 wide receivers from Penn State in the NFL. Chris Godwin and Jahan Dotson are the best receivers from Penn State. So we see how it works, where they're building up the middle, where they're investing in linebackers and running backs and tight ends. They need to invest in the perimeter. They need to be able to stretch the field vertically so that they can have more success running the football. I don't know. I mean, they had Oregon right where they wanted them. It was the whiteout game. Dante Moore is in his 5th game as the starter for Oregon. This is a relatively young Oregon team. And you had them at home in the whiteout game, and you couldn't beat them. Oregon's going to get better. Do people understand that? Like, even if Penn State would have ended up winning this game, I would have been like, I don't know how I feel about Penn State, because Oregon is a team that's going to continue to get better over the course of the season. And if they play at Oregon, if they play at a neutral site, it's a lot more towards Oregon's side. Like, Oregon would have won this game by probably double digits if they were playing on a neutral site or in Oregon. And this is what happens when you're a team like Penn State and you don't schedule quality opponents in your non-conference schedule. This is what happens. So I don't know what Penn State needs to do. They need to change their identity. They need to do something along those lines. Is it move on from James Franklin? I don't know. I know there's Penn State fans that are going to want to move on from him. And I completely understand where you're coming from. But I would also say, like, okay, if you move on from James Franklin, like, yeah, he has done some really good things with the recruiting. I just think he needs to tweak some things. So that's my take on Penn State. Drew Aller, by the way, I mean, 14 for 25, 137 yards, 2 touchdowns and an interception. Threw an interception at the biggest moment of the game. Like, this is my thing about Penn State. And this is why they had such a good opportunity to make a move here and beat one of the best teams in the country. This is a veteran roster. Like, yeah, they lost some players from last year, but they're also returning a lot of players from last year as well. Drew Aller is in his 3rd year as a starter. You have veteran running backs. You have veterans on your defense. Oregon is a team that hasn't blossomed into what they're going to be. And you had them at home, and you still found a way to lose the game. And by the way, like, yeah, they made this a game towards the end of the game. For about 3.5 quarters of this game, it was very clear who the better team was. It was Oregon. I don't know. That they fumbled a big opportunity here. Will Penn State make the playoffs? I'm not going to go as far as to say that they're not. I'm not even ruling them out when it comes to making the Big Ten championship. I think it's unlikely because I don't think they're going to beat Ohio State, me personally. And I mean, if we take a look at their schedule, they have Ohio State and Indiana still on their schedule. So, I mean, Indiana looks really damn good. Am I ready to say that Indiana is going to beat Penn State? I don't think that's going to happen. I think Penn State's going to win that game, but I don't think they're beating Ohio State. So, you know, Penn State's going to need Ohio State to lose a game before Michigan and lose to Michigan if they want to make the Big Ten championship game. But this is devastating for them. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.